Hello everyone, welcome back to Hillside Forge. So on today's episode, we're going to walk you through our full Railspike class. We have the Smith family and the Dempster family. This is their first time making a knife, so if you have any questions about what it's like to be a first timer making a knife, I'm sure by the end they'll be able to answer that for you.
Awesome.
Alright, you guys excited?
Yes.
Alright, let's get it done. This is the shiny parts you see in here are iron ore. This is fresh mined out of the ground. Now this is mainly rock, but there's bits of iron ore in this. We got this from an old iron refinery that was shut down. We found it on the ground. So when iron is broken out of this and then melted down for the first time, it becomes wrought iron, which looks a lot like this. It is this.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got these like granular lines to it, almost like a piece of wood would have. Yeah. So wrought iron is very soft, but it's very fragile. It breaks apart very easily. It frays. So the Vikings figured out that they could make a type of steel by taking their ancestors' bones, and they thought it put their ancestors' spirit in it, giving it superpowers. Really what was happening was the carbon was leaching out of the bones and into the iron, making it steel. So now modern day we have two basic types of steel, which is mild steel and high carbon steel. Now there's a whole bunch of alloys and science that goes into that. But mild steel is essentially any steel that cannot be hardened easily. So like if you go to a hardware store and you pick up that steel, that's all mild steel, meaning if you flexed it, it'll bend and it'll hold that bend. High carbon steel, generally speaking, does not hold a bend, it'll flex back and forth. It'll also break when under pressure, whereas mild steel will flex more. So these rail spikes, a lot of people for the longest time thought they were high carbon because on the bottom of these spikes here, they have HC cast into the head.
Oh, yeah.
So people see the HC and they think, oh, that means they're high carbon. No, that means they are higher carbon for a rail spike. Ready? This is the first step we're working to. A little difficult, I'm out of breath. Forgive me. Not as in shape as I used to be. This job keeps me pretty in shape. So does anybody want to do what Curtis did?
Yeah.
We all do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to put mine to the side for now. We're going to get you guys in your appropriate forges. All right, so nearly everyone's design has that sloping front. Now, if you're doing the clip point, it's very important that at this juncture here, where your slope begins to come down, that we get that nice and crisp. So you want it almost looking like a machined angle, from a parallel with the anvil to a 45 down. So I'll show you how that looks, and then I'll show you guys how to do the drop or the straight back. So if I was doing the 45 for the clip point, your knife looks similar to this. I would strike along my spine to flatten that out. But here's where my slope starts. So I'd come in at a 45. I'm using the flat side of my hammer, and you'll see the steel start to buckle like that. Totally normal. Don't get worried. Lay it down. What Curtis says is banana side down. So you want the cup on the anvil, smack it, and it'll flatten it out real good for you. Okay? Now, yes, my knife has wobbles right now. We clean that up later. Don't worry about it right now. So, for the clip point, you want that nice 45 shape, okay? So you want to come and meet that 45-degree angle, straighten it out with your back. So when you look at it from the side, that edge is really crisp. You see where that corner is? So the more crisp that is, the more defined your hook will be. Now you can also, at this point, decide how big of a clip you want. The more shallow this is, the shorter your drop down is, the smaller your clip will be. If you like a big, long clip, you could take your angle back further. But for most of the knives we do, the ones that you saw, they're about a 2-inch, inch and a half slope down, okay? Now, to do the straight back or the drop point, they start in the same place. So most of you have this shape roughly already. To do the straight back and the drop point, you hit the spine like this, like we were doing, but instead of coming in at a hard 45, you start to slowly adjust your angle as you're coming down, okay? I can heat this up and show you. That crisp corner, all three of you are going to take and strike your spine flat, then find your angle slightly. Don't make a steep 45 like he did. Start slightly tilting your hammer to round that down. And instead of having a nice, sharp drop, you want a nice, smooth, clean transition down. Okay? Now, when you bevel this for the straight back, you can stop here and start beveling, which I'll show you that later, but you can stop there. For you to have a drop point, you would have one more step, which is taking it like this and hammering at glancing blows to kind of bend your blade down more. Because when we strike along here, the steel expands. So, pardon the dirty Play-Doh, my son uses this when he's in here. Okay, so now we have that nice slope down, right? Everybody's sloped down. This is your sloping down. This is your edge point right here. Now we're going to bevel our edge. So I'll use the rounding side of my hammer and I'll start hitting here and watch that tip move. So for your tip and the drop point to be center, we have to curve it a little more. So when the curve comes up, it's more in the middle. Now with your guys' slope being nice and even down, when you hammer your bevel, it should bring it pretty close to straight. If it's not, we can either hit the back of the steel and expand it out this way, or we can just go to the grinder and clean it up that way. All right. Beautiful. We have the step and we have the face. Now this is also your cutting table. Mainly this transition is called your step. But then we have the hardy hold and preacher hold. We won't use these at all. Where we do the beveling process for the majority is right here at the edge of the face and the step. Every anvil that you guys are working on has a step. I prefer that for the simple fact that when I am, as I showed you guys with the tip, if you try and put a tip on your knife and you have your tip sitting here, your hammerhead will make contact with the anvil before it makes contact with your steel. So that's why we have the tip over here. Same process for the beveling. So the beveling, you're not going to strike flat straight down, okay? You're going to try and cant your hammer just a little bit using the rounding side. You're going to have a small angle to it, okay? So instead of hitting flat, we're going to hit like this. I'm going to bring my knife edge right to my step there so it's nice and parallel to it. Rounding side of my hammer. I'm going to start at my heel and draw that out. The heel is this point right here at the edge of your knife, kind of where your hand will rest up against. You draw your heel out first. That way your material can expand to that length. So that gives you the guide of how wide your knife's going to be. Now once I have my heel drawn out, I move up about a half an inch and work the next spot. Trying to keep that slight angle, and then just keep working up your anvil. You know, I don't want to put it over my step because that'll put an indentation in my steel. So I want it right next to it. Okay, so I'm going to finish out my bevel quick. Try and get those deeper hammer marks out. Hot steel coming through. Come over, grab my pliers. Put a little bit of beef in my handle in here. Make sure I got it tight. It's nice and hard. We're still at a good temperature. Slide my head over, and I just start twisting. All the way around. And then I want to line that up as best I can. Right about there looks pretty straight and true. So I can knock that off. Grab it out of the vise. And now we have a twisted handle. To quench, you want your steel to be about this orange color here. You're going to go in the water, and you're going to move up and down. Do not take it out of the water. Leave it in and shake it up and down. You want to go for about 5 to 6 seconds. Water does cool a lot faster than oil does, but there is still a likelihood of warpage. So for that, we open this up a little bit, throw our angle iron in. Now I know that you guys are twisting, so for the most part, you won't have to worry about this for the most part at this point in time. And then we're just going to crank that in there. Try it this way. And that just keeps everything straight and true as it cools down more. Now the water does cool it down very rapidly. So within about 5 minutes or so, I can touch this. You can touch the blade now, probably it's that cool, but we don't want any of the warping to happen, so we try and minimize that as best we can. Plus, with it being a softer steel, putting it in the vise, with the vise having enough force, it can straighten things out that already do warp.
So what did you say the difference is between water and oil?
So quenching steel has a lot to do with viscosity. So the more viscous something is, the quicker the heat gets pulled out of the material. So water is extremely viscous. So as soon as hot steel hits it, the heat is removed rapidly. That's the reason why we shake it up and down, because it cools so fast that there's a vapor pocket that forms around the steel. So like when you pull it out and you see that steam, that bubble insulates it and actually keeps it from cooling down faster. Now, oil is not as viscous, but we do like to warm it up to around 100 degrees for high carbon steels. It cools significantly slower, but yet faster than air cooling. So the reason we do that is with mild steel, there's not a lot of carbon, and if you put mild steel in water, it does no damage to the steel. High carbon steel, if you put it in water, the molecules do not react very well. They can't lock into place because the cooling is happening so fast that they tend to pull apart instead of lock better together. The slower the cool, the easier they can lock together, kind of like tectile plates, tectonic plates. Make sense? My stuff. All right. No, you're
past the buck.
So it's your fault. All right. So now we can see that I have nice clean lines on the top and bottom. My shape is more defined the way I want it to be, right? So for you two and you see the same design. It's a similar process. Now with the straight back, like you two wanted to do, all that means is, Curtis, never mind. Pause. For this segment, we have 3 different types of knives. So for your straight back, if you are unpleased with how flat the back is, it's your choice. A lot of people like to just leave it the forged scale, and that's fine. It's really your preference. Don't think you have to do anything I'm saying, except for the safety things. You got to do those. So to make my spine nice and true here, if I'm doing the flat, I can pull from the side if I like, instead of doing this. I recommend doing this because the belt has a tendency to dig if you're going this way, and you'll get like deep grind marks that way, and it's not the best. But flat is the same principle, except for instead of rolling up to your tip, you're just kind of going to push into it. And we do this obviously before we have the edge on there, so you can push safely without slicing your hand open. So I can demonstrate that for you quick. I want to make my spine flat. That flattens it out a lot smoother. Now, Chris, for your clip point, you already have this subtle shape in here, right? Right there, right? So to define this and make it look a little nicer, to really get that, you come under the wheel here, and you can trace it out with that. You know, you don't want to push too hard because you will dig through it. But you want to just kind of clean it up so where the profile looks the way you want it to look. And you can make that as curved in or as less or steep you want. Make sense? Relatively, it's the same process, except for that's the only thing different you're going to do. If you want to do your spine, do your spine. You don't, whatever. But for your blade, everybody starts flat. Okay, it's important to be flat, and then roll up to the tip. Now, when you're rolling up to your tip, you don't want to just whip it because you'll sand your tip right off. So it's about probably medium pressure here, and then you get the same pressure. And when you get to the tip, you kind of back off a little bit, and you want to watch how narrow your tip's getting. The thinner your tip is, the easier it is to burn. I don't think the microphone caught that. That was thunder. The thinner your tip is, the easier it is to burn. So we want to watch how thin we're getting our tips, especially before we do any of our other more extensive grinding. So just kind of keep an eye on it. Go slow. No need to rush. Biggest thing about grinding is take your time. There is no time crunch. Just take your time. Okay? Okay. Now, this is the hardest part of knife making. There's a lot of symmetry. There's a lot of muscle memory that has to be involved. So if it doesn't look pretty now, don't beat yourself up. We have something that saves every knife maker's butt, and it's called Scotch-Brite belts. They'll take uneven grinds, and they'll clean them up and make them look really pretty. So this is what you're shooting for now. Then we'll go to the next steps. We're going to do this step by step by step. That way it's way easy for you guys to remember. So it's a 45-degree on both sides. And now when I look in the light, all you see on there is a thin line of burrs. Okay? Those burrs are okay. We're going to remove those with a finer belt later. But for now, you want to get to these burrs because from this point, we can either choose to leave our knife like this, put a much finer edge on it with a higher grit sandpaper, and then polish it out with the Scotch-Brite, or we use this as the foundation to make much steeper grinds where our polished steel comes like halfway up or all the way up. So this is the core we start with, 45 degrees on both sides, and you keep making passes at the same angle, approximately, until you get these burrs, okay? Now, any grinder will work for this. You don't have to have specific ones. So, everybody feel confident?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I'm here with Chris,
Yep.
Mr. Smith. So, what did you think today about your knife making class?
Amazing. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed
So
with grief? It was that bad?
I didn't realize how much hands-on we were doing at the same time. I want to thank you first for letting us work in the shop, but it was a first hand take a spike and make a knife, and I was very happy. Thank you very much.
It's my great pleasure,
Yep.
Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Make you hold too much stuff.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, sir. Well, Debbie, congratulations. You made your
Thank
first
you.
knife. I assume it's your first
Yes,
knife.
that's my first knife.
Well,
It probably would be my last.
Probably your last. It was that bad too. Dear Lord, we were two
I
for
just
two.
don't know when I have the opportunity to do it again.
Oh, fair enough. So, what do you think your favorite thing was about today?
Getting over the grinder.
Yeah. Okay. They can be scary to start.
It was. I thought all I pictured was putting it on that belt, and that thing was going to jump right out of my hand and go in my foot. But after
Your feet look okay, so.
you were, yes, you were a great teacher, and I had no problem. Once you went through the first round with me, then I was able to do it all by myself.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Debbie. Thank you. I appreciate you coming out.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Who's next? Come on down. Oh, jeez, Josh. You gotta back up. Go outside the building. Catch him. All right. I'm here with Josh. Josh, how was the experience for you, sir?
It was great. I really enjoyed the process. I can see how somebody can get kind of stuck in like a therapeutic part of it. You know, it was nice.
Good. I'm glad you. What do you think that was the hardest part of the day for you?
Hardest part, I guess say drawing out the blade, just trying to figure out, like, I don't know how to explain it. Just determine your thickness on the anvil and everything.
Right. I can get that. What was your favorite part?
Hammer and stuff.
Hammer and stuff? Hammer and stuff's always a win. Always a win. Josh, I appreciate you coming out, sir. Thank you so much. All right. And last but not least, we have Aaron. All righty, Aaron. What did you think about the class today?
I was a little nervous. I had messaged Brad before and said, Brad, we're not introductory people. And you said it was going to be okay. And I feel like young and old can make this, and it can be an experience for all.
I appreciate that very much. What was your favorite part about today?
I think the twist.
The twist?
I think the twist, like seeing it come in action, is pretty cool.
Glad to hear it. What do you think was the hardest part today?
Oh, learning how to hold a hammer.
Yeah.
Like, learning how to hold a hammer is a little different than how you regularly hold a hammer. So it was a new experience.
Fair enough.
So, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Definitely. Milton, Pennsylvania. I think you need to check out this shop. It's pretty awesome.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys,
Thank
everybody, for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to get one last send off here, and we'll catch you guys later.
What are they selling? I don't know even what he said. Chocolates.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. That completes a 5-hour day in our shop. Now, today was the beginner's class. Now, everybody that you saw in the video, we didn't get a fly over their knives.
No, we didn't. They're gone.
They're gone.
We'll ask for pictures.
Dang.
He said
Listen, everybody did a phenomenal job in the class.
Yeah.
It was an oversight. We did not get close-ups of their knives. So please
First-time
forgive
knife
me.
builders, all of them, and they all came out.
They all did amazing. Actually, we have the group picture with their knives out.
I was
So
gonna
you
say-
will see them still. Ha-ha!
Just scrolling.
Just zoom in real far and you see it when it's in front of you.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
But no, everybody today was a beginner. So if you ever want to try to do a knife making class, this Railspike class is for everybody. Doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, it doesn't matter how
You
young
gotta
you
get
are.
your parents' permission.
Yeah, you got to be like at least 13, 14 with parental permission.
Yeah.
But we are looking to teach the community what we love to do, to bring this craft out to the public. You know, people want to see cool stuff, and we do cool stuff.
And what you know what's crazy?
Go
Her
ahead,
husband, not Chris,
Josh.
I want to keep saying John, but
Josh.
Josh, was even like it's therapeutic.
It is
You know, and that's why Warriors Way really started their thing.
therapy.
So-
That's not really therapy. You know, it's a
Yeah.
hands-on way to deal with things.
It's nice.
But we love giving back to the community. We love teaching people. Everything we do here is to create an environment that is inviting and welcoming for you. So if you want to take a class, please leave a comment below. You can reach out on our website at hillsideforge.weebly.com, or you can email us at hillsideforge18@gmail.com, or you can give us a phone call at 570-649-8383.
8383.
Also on our website, that is a cool shirt.
Actually, that's a cool shirt.
No, that's a cool shirt. But if you want a cool shirt like these or Hillside Forge merchandise, check out our website and please help us out with purchasing some merchandise.
We would love you to.
We would really appreciate it. We got hats, we got beanies, we got hoodies,
Coffee
we got
mugs.
sweatshirts, we got coffee mugs,
I don't know.
we
I
got
don't even drink-
t-shirts.
I don't even drink coffee like that.
I don't know how to drink coffee either.
But it's a coffee mug.
We even got baseball tees. We got something for everybody.
Yeah.
So until next time, guys, God bless. We hope you have a great day. Thank you for tuning in.
Comment, subscribe, tell your friends.
I sent a TikTok that you said like, comment, subscribe, do a little bit, like, comment, subscribe, do a little bit. That's going to be in the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good night. God
love you
bless.
guys.
Bye.